Hello guys, welcome back to the stream. Today is as usual, we're going to discuss and talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum as usual. So you can see right here, there's a lot of changing things in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Bitcoin and Ethereum, so there's a lot of things and price changing around here. First of all, we're going to talk about Bitcoin news, and then we will discuss about the chart. Yeah, uh, Bitcoin comes down into our support area here overnight, and it was worth waiting. And to be patient, I always try to inspire the importance of being patient in this market. And we waited week for this fifth wave to the upside. So another couple of week for this wave two. Yeah, playing out finally we did get into this support area for yellow and decent wave degree, not as large as for example. The wave degree here is a significant but still a decent wave degree, and we are currently in a wave 2, and because I don't think we have a complete that overall correction, I see this support area which goes all the way down about 26,000. A really reliable support I have here for this particular setup. Yeah, this is the launch pad for a third wave rally again. There is not guarantee it will turn around here and phasing very clearly until we see the first wave move up of this support right here. Pull back after the first wave move up. I will not be able to confirm that a trend reversal has happened to the upside, and I will not be in the third wave rally. So we're dealing with a situation in the market where it's about either getting a good. So scaling into the support area, all waiting for the first confirmation that the trend has shifted from the wave 2 and rally. Now the good thing about scaling in is that you get the best average price turn around. Bad thing it is doesn't even turn around, you will lose money. Okay, but that's trading, that's reality. But if you manage your position size well, why scaling, and you should be okay. Your position side will why scaling, and you should be okay. And the risk this room is minimal, and your potential loss can be kept very small. If you have your position sizing spot on why scaling in, and if you manage your capital very well, and that's the benefit of scaling into support. Now again, you can lose money, of course, because you have you're basically trying to catch the falling knife. Now you're now just doing that a stupid way. You're basically using a Fibonacci level. You're using the context of this chart, well, which tell us we have a five-way move up, and based on the probability suggests. Hold on, okay. And the advantage of waiting for a first five-wave move up is that after that you can still capture most of third wave. Rally, yeah. If you do well and you have confirmation that trend is turning around reality, catching a falling knife, the bad thing about I'm waiting for confirmation to the upside is before entering anything and entering any position. The bad thing, in my opinion, is that typically in crypto, I mean, if we go higher, it would be a third wave rally, and in fact, it will be a third of a third wave. That's typically a very bullish move, and it can be happen very quickly, Sabat, but maybe you could be surprised so that the balance and the decision every trader deals with. So it's all about, okay, do I catch the falling knife confirmation? Now I'm personally taking a mixed approach. Because of that, I do a scale on the way down. Shifting back to a more bearish outcome, which is down here, 78.6 retracement. So I do scale on, but only so there is a lot of things changing here. Uh, 78.6 retracement, you can see right here. So I do scale in, but only with a certain percentage of I dedicate for this position, and will then wait with a and buying trend reversal. So it is basically a miss of getting the best average price while I also managing risks, okay, and not just deploying the entire capital for this trade already of the way down. Yeah, but that's all about strategy and track. Talk a little bit about that at the app, because a new development of the chart really pride is now consulting a bit of what you want to find more about track it with elite. So if you guys new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give a like, give a thumbs up to the live. I will be appreciated. So let's get back into the Bitcoin part. So then you can see that most likely we are this third wave down to the downside, and the way of the wave 2 bottom, you can see right here for our chart. Here on dot, it reached the target that I have you in my live extension, and to be honest, if the third wave doesn't extend that much, to be honest, if the third wave doesn't extend much more than it would be like unlikely to max out the support area if we get a very strong extension. in the wave, where the third wave might come down to the 50 flip level, maybe even the golden region. Then yeah, then I think we are likely going to see this 78.6 flip level down here. But if not, and if we get this fourth wave shortly, yeah, this pullback, then I think I'm looking primarily for the area of 28K for a target. Here for the wave of 2 before it then can turn in. So at the moment, I have no indication already in wave 2, but I haven't even got confirmation that the wave has bottomed. So we need to be a bit more patient. I do see, however, some early signal that trends might shift and that we are a bottoming process. Always remember that bottoming is a process. For an example, the future price, and they start to close the spread back between sports and future. That's just one of the signal. I am observing additional to the daily RSI, which has come down nicely, but in my opinion, low enough on the daily confirm indicate at least lasting lowers in price. And for example, here the mat is pushing down. Yes, it is still negative momentum, still in increasing. The daily RSI, why it is low now at 41, where I want it would like to have a closer to 35 to 30 to indicate yeah, that we are really going have a good chance of turning around a few people risk as me about the weekly RSI that is turning bearish. I don't know, I haven't seen that. And about a bearish crossover on the weekly, I mean, yeah, but it is still in the bullish range, so I'm not really attention to the bearish crosses on the weekly. I just don't have the static that will tell me that it work as a signal. Okay, just very important. But beside the 1 second, and yeah, now I don't really have the static that this is a reliable signal. So I'm usually use this indicator only together with price stretcher. Price stretcher is actually still rather bullish. Okay, and bear in mind, if I go to the weekly chart again, that this week, was it this week? Yeah, I think so. I didn't it happened this week, so you will not have a very RSI weekly read anyways. Until the week is over, very important. This is not value, you know, it is the weekly candle. Hasn't even closed yet. Okay, that's my update for the weekly. And oh, this is about Bitcoin. So a long bullish trend that we have seen since around the beginning. Despite the current short-term pullback, technically speaking, the price of Bitcoin is still currently forming higher lows and higher highs. When you're looking at the significant higher highs and higher low on the larger time frame, and top of that, obviously the super trend indicator right here is incomplete, opposite to the what we saw during all of the. Obviously, this is also indicating a larger bullish trend still currently at play and has been at play since the beginning of this year. And now if you're looking at the larger cup and handle pattern, the 4-day the week Bitcoin I have mentioned recently on the channel, this giant cap is not yet confirmed anyway, because in order actually confirm this pattern, we will need to see a strong confirm breakout well above 31k, with ideally a weekly candle close above 31k, which as of right now we have not seen yet, which simply means so this giant cap and handle pattern is not play. So in fact, we are see a further pullback here in the shorter term. This could potentially involve the pattern altogether, but at the same time, it's possible we could see a smaller pattern here in the somehow shorter term. But obviously, for that, we will need to see around back up towards a 31,000 within the next 1 or 2 months or so. You're taking a look on the daily Bitcoin chart. Obviously, as I have said over the last day, we do have an active bearish divergence currently playing out of the daily time frame, which means we will not really be expecting any bullish momentum in short term. In the short term, and instead, like I have said over the last last days, so we're due to see either some choppy sideways price action in the short term, a single bearish price action in the shorter term, which is exactly we have seen ever since this new bearish confirm. And so this is the type of price action that I continue to expect in the shorter term, as in least talking about the common day, because as of right now, if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin RSI, obviously this is still trending to the downside, indicating that this bearish divergence is still currently being mentioned, that daily Bitcoin match is still currently looking more bearish than bullish as of right now, because it is simply showing bearish. Being said, it is not showing as much momentum compared to some of these previous moments, which is basically mean we shouldn't necessarily expect a massive crash straight to the downside. Once again, we are likely going to see potential some slight bearish price action, relatively my price action in the shorter term, which is exactly what I've been playing out. And so now, just before zooming into the short-term Bitcoin chart and talking about some important price target first. First of all, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give the video thumbs up. I will be appreciated if you do that. So back to the chart. Obviously right now on the live, Bitcoin is clearly breaking below the important support, which around 29.8k. So now technically speaking, at the time of this live, have not actually seen a confirmed 8-hour candle close below this support line. But we actually confirmed the break below that support on similar time frame, which I will talk about in just a moment. But first, now that we are seeing a break to the downside below this support on the week chart, this means that this potential previous bullish flag pattern is now potentially invalidating the formation phase for the pattern, because obviously this pattern was not actually confirmed to begin with, because as I have said over and over again on the recently on the channel, we need to see a confirmed breakout well above 31k with ideally a weekly candle close above the resistance in order to actually confirm this pattern and confirm a breakout to the update. So but considering that did not actually happen, we will stay within the formation phase, never actually confirmed the pattern, but now we are actually investigating the pattern altogether. But as I have said, also warned about over the last few days and my last few live, now that we are seeing a break to the downside below this support line, this is not only invalidating this previous potential bullish flag pattern, we are also now activating a new pattern in the short term, which if you are looking at the top of Bitcoin chart, obviously as you can see right now, we're now active in new bearish flag pattern. So in short term, which once again I've been talking about a few days ago. So once again, now that we are seeing a confirmed breakout below 4-hour chart, which means by the way this support on the 4-hour chart was sitting around a 29.9k. So now that happened, this is just not forming the pattern anymore. We have not actually confirmed the breakout, which confirmed a technical price target, which is currently very here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. The price target is sitting at a promisely 28 and a half thousand. So obviously, as of right now, the price of Bitcoin has already moved a decent distance, and in between the breaking point and the price target. But technically speaking, we are still on only around halfway between the breakout and the price target, because from this live that's still around another 2% drop in the price target, and the total size of the drop from the breaking point to the price target will have been around a 4% drop. Once again, as of right now, we actually have a active bearish price target in the short term, and obviously bearish momentum in the short term is currently stronger than the bullish momentum, also due to the bearish divergence playing out on the daily time frame, which simply means at least in the short term. You're looking at the smaller time frame. We are simply looking at the more bearish than bullish as of our resistance. Case we will actually see a bounce back the upside, it will expect this previous support to now add a new resistance, sitting at around 29.9k to 29.9, and above that, if we actually break into 30k range, first of all, it happened that will actually invalidate this bearish flag pattern. But in that case, we are still have resistance at around 30.4. So overall, as of right now for the Bitcoin, once again in the short term, we are looking more bearish than bullish. But in the longer term of the larger time frame, well, technically we still are looking more bullish than bearish. So What this means is that right now we are basically in a setup or pullback on basically pause from the larger bullish trend, kind of like what we saw back here. So it is actually possible to experience more extension action during a larger bullish trend, just like how it is possible to experience shorter trend and bullish price action with a larger trend. Anyway, now getting to the Ethereum, we're going to talk about Ethereum. You can see right here, this is the Ethereum price is changing. Right now, the price of Ethereum is continuing to break below this previous, was hitting at around 1890, and I have mentioned over the last few days, the next level of support to pay attention to is actually the price range or the daily time frame, sitting at around 70.70 to 80.20. But before that important price range, obviously, we do have some short-term level support, which I will mention in just a moment. First, taking a quick look to the Ethereum price oscillator on the daily time frame. Right now, the RSI is still looking relatively neutral, but it could potentially start flipping more bearish if we confirm a longer high. Obviously, set up a bearish trend. And if you're looking at the daily Ethereum, right now it is also a potential starting to flip. Being said, as of right now, it is technically still showing limited momentum in the short term, compared to some of these previous moments, which once again means we should not necessarily expect a massive quick cash in the price. So either as a slight pullback, kind of like what we've seen over the last few days, short term on potentially a little bit of choppy sideways price action in between the short term bearish price action, kind of like what we have seen over the last few days or the last 1 week. Zooming into the shorter term. This is the 1 day chart, Ethereum chart, dollar chart, obviously over the last 1 day. We saw a perfect retest this previous line on support, which is now adding a new resistance, once again at around 1819 to 1.9k, which I also warned about in my last live, saying that we should be expecting resistance around the aerial. And so now that we have actually further confirmed that level is resistant and confirmed a retest, this is simply further confirmed that break to the downside and the short-term bearish scenario. And so now that we are looking more bearish than the bullish in the short term, so the next level of support to pay attention to look at the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing low to swing high here on the 6 hour 1 day chart, 1 day Ethereum